Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Ultimately, despite the console failing, it still sold, like, stupidly well, clocking in at 8.46 million units. For a console that did that bad, that is an insane attachment rate, but was it enough to save the console?
If I'm asking that question, you probably know it didn't.
It was as good of an attempt as any, but nothing could have saved the Wii U. Mario Kart 8 was by far the closest to doing so, but with a mediocre post-launch window followed by inconsistent marketing, no matter how good Mario Kart 8 was, which was basically near masterpiece level save for battle mode, it just wasn't meant to happen. I think the console's death was solidified before this game even started development, to be quite frank. Around this era, there was a lot of debate and speculation about what would be next for the failing Nintendo. Would they continue their handheld line, or would they go third party? It was sort of a depressing time to be a fan. All we knew is that they were making something called the NX, but details were pretty sparse. Nintendo barely supported the Wii U all of 2016, and instead started focusing on mobile games and the NES Classic. Well, lo and behold, in October 2016, the Nintendo Switch was unveiled. This was one of the best trailers for a game console, probably ever. And there were quite a number of games shown off for the damn thing. I mean, Breath of the Wild, which people predicted would happen anyways. There was Skyrim and NBA, and what's that? Mario Kart 8? Now, fans were quick to speculate on what this was. A new Mario Kart, maybe? Just a port of Mario Kart 8? Or worst case scenario, was the inclusion only a proof of concept? I don't blame anyone who thought it could have been that, as Skyrim and NBA 2K were in the trailer, and neither game company had confirmed an actual release for the console. While looking at the footage again, one of the gamers in this car playing on that attachment that never got released were playing as King Boo, who was not in the original game. I think it's safe to say that a whole new character shown basically confirmed an expanded port was in the works. It's not the type of thing a company would do for the memes, and it proves it wasn't just copy and pasted footage from something else. The gameplay also obviously had the Mario Kart 8 UI, although it's important to note that there were 2 item boxes in the top right instead of 1. Now, you've seen that throughout the footage the entire time, but that's because I'm recording on Deluxe anyway, so it is important to note that originally the game only let you hold 1 item. Fast forward to January 13th, 2017, and Nintendo would hold not a Nintendo Direct, but instead more of a press event showing off what the Switch was and the games that would come to it. Mario Kart footage was used, and look at that, battle mode with actual arenas, oh my god. Basically, it's all but confirmed, except it was barely actually confirmed. You see, the actual trailer was not in the press conference, but was later released as a separate video on the same day.
So you didn't tell your investors you're putting the best-selling game on your last console onto the new one. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't want to know that.
At least this is based off what I could gather. I scrolled through re-uploads of this press conference countless times just to see if I missed the trailer, and I just don't see the announcement, and I vaguely remember this being the case anyways. Anyways, this trailer, perhaps rightfully so, focuses mostly on battle mode returning, or, being what it should have been in 2014, but better late than never, I guess. There were a good array of battle courses here, including even some from Double Dash, like Luigi's Mansion. And then halfway through the trailer, bombshell, Splatoon is making it over, we got the Squid Kids. And there it is. April 28th, we're getting our second major Switch game. No, snipper clips did not count. Before we talk about the battle mode, it's important that we go over some of the smaller changes to the core game first. Obviously, any Wii U functionality was cut, such as Miiverse support and the majority of Mario Kart TV functionality. While playing the game, the first thing I noticed at the time was that they now added auto steering and auto accelerate, and they're on by default. At that point, you're kind of just doing nothing. I'm glad they added accessibility options. I do think they should be there for people who need them, but I do think turning them on by default is kind of bogus. And I always forget to turn them off when I'm playing the game at someone's house. So we always sit there, someone's playing like ass, we pause the game, it's just a big nightmare. And of course, as it pertains to racing, you have the double items. This means that there are double item boxes on the road now, and when you hold a green shell or banana, despite that still taking a slot, you can actually hold on to something else. On top of that, the drifting now has a third color you could release at, being purple. So in general, there was a lot more chaos introduced to this version. I love it. And of course, there were a lot of quality of life improvements in general. I didn't mention this earlier, but in Mario Kart 8 and Wii U, you had to unlock characters by completing Grand Prix Cups at random. Here, all the characters are added automatically. I remember hearing some people mad about it at the time, as they wanted the ability to unlock the characters like they have in previous Mario Kart games, or just hadn't played 8 before. I personally didn't care, but guess what? I was already biased because I already did it in 8 Wii U, so throw my opinion in the garbage can where it belongs. Alongside the Squid Kid and the characters that should have been in the game prior, the game also introduced Gold Mario here, which thankfully is only a costume of Metal Mario, so I won't increase the filler percentage. Consider yourself lucky, Nintendo. But by far, the most important, awe-inspiring change was this game was raised from 59 FPS to 60 FPS. Fans were celebrating in the fucking streets of society. No one cared about any of that though. The focus of this product was, as they put it, a new and improved battle mode.
Oh, really? I thought battle mode was bad previously for the artistic vision.
I've never really been a big battle mode guy, to be honest, so sorry if I don't have too much to say here, but regardless, I'll give a summary of what I can. What's really impressive, at least in my opinion, is the fact that this game boasts 5 different battle styles. There's of course Balloon Battle, because duh, and returning from Double Dash is Bob-omb Blast and Shine Thief. You know, this combined with the whole double item thing really makes me think the developers were really throwing it back to Double Dash, so
Cool, bring over more than 3 stages next time, please, okay?
there's also coin runners. Now, can you possibly guess what you do in this mode? It's kind of hard to think about. And finally, all new to Mario Kart 8 is Renegade Roundup. There are 2 teams here, the Authorities and the Renegades.
So it's cops and robbers. Someone at Nintendo likes synonyms.
Use the Piranha Plant items here as the cops to throw people in jail. I'm sorry I don't have more to say. I've never really played Battle Mode that much, but I can see the Battle Mode diehards thinking that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Battle Mode is the best in the series, and you know what? I'll take their word for it.